Hello, and welcome to the Shadow Demon Talks. Today, we are joined by a special guest, HudieTCG. Hello.
Hello there. Just want to quickly point out it's HudieTCG, like no hoodie.
Hoodie,
I think that's
like, uh, like the Digimon, correct?
yeah, like that's where the name came from, the Digimon.
Right. I see I've been, saying it wrong all this time.
Nah, that's fair. That's fine. I mean,
Um, So I checked out your channel and I see that you have videos for both Digimon and Dragon Ball Super. Is it fair to say that you enjoy Bandai's card games?
yeah, I really do enjoy Banner's card games. Dragon Ball community is a bit salty half time, but I really do enjoy the playstyle of both games. They make me think a bit more because I don't have to worry about infinite negates.
Right. So have you seen overlap in card designs between the two games?
Not much so far. I feel like because the Western version of Dragon Ball Super is different from what the one they had in Japan was. So I think they've taken it down a whole different route, even though it does share similarities to it. But with Digimon, it feels like they're trying to be as different from it as possible while still keeping some aspects of it. Like you got the security with your life, essentially.
I see. So a lot of people within the Digimon community, including myself, who have seen people discuss the Dragon Ball Super TCG without actually looking into it, have heard that Bandai's changed it from their Japanese to English release. Did they change the mechanics or just the cards?
So, from my understanding, the mechanics are similar, but the cards have changed a bit. Like one deck that would be sort of yellow ended up being like green or blue for us over here. So, even though it takes inspiration from it, it is its own unique card game.
Interesting.
Because trying to find stuff about the Japanese version is a bit difficult.
I see. And I've seen on your channel that you mostly do deck builds. Do you have any other plans for the time being?
I just did a Weiss Schwartz unboxing today. My friends tempted me to get in it when they told me there was a JoJo deck now, which I absolutely love. So I bought about 4 boxes that to unbox on the channel. I do have plans for more Digimon content soon. Blue and yellow aren't my favourite colours, so I'm struggling with deck building. And with set 2 on the horizon, I'm thinking I might hold off and just start deck building now for green and potentially black or purple. I haven't decided which one of those two I want to invest in yet.
Interesting, interesting. So, when the game gets an English release, will you continue to invest in the Japanese product or will you swap over to English?
I think I'll swap over to English because I do have a lot of friends who are interested in it. It's just about English cards. They don't want to sort of look at all the databases like I have been looking at to understand what the cards do. Some of them have agreed to help me with content by doing helping record deck matches when we're able to. But English is just going to be the better version for me in the future regarding making content and trying to build a community.
I believe that'll be the case for most of us. So, speaking about the game, how do you feel about everything you've been seeing coming out from Set 2 so far?
I love it. Like I immediately fell in love with black. I was like, strong blockers, more defensive styles, more my thing. Um, I'm really curious to see where purple's going because in Vanguard I play Grand Blue, which is a milling deck and reviving everything. And if purple gets a few more milling cards, then just reviving stuff is just going to be deck I'll definitely build. But they need more mill personally for me.
Right. I do believe that every color needs their own search, and it will definitely be interesting if purple sees milling as their method of searching.
Because we do already have one with Impmon, but it's on when it's destroyed, meaning you're going to have to swing blindly to security and hope they get something with a high attack so yours dies, or hope your opponent's stupid enough to run into him and kill him.
Right. It is unfortunate that Impmon's ability isn't also evolution source ability.
Yeah, that would be nice if it was.
Has your opinion of any of the colors changed since Set 2's unveiling?
Definitely blue. I feel like blue is getting a bit too strong with its getting effects upon switching active during the main phase. Old Force Fugimon, I do think it's going to be very strong when the deck comes out and will be a force to be reckoned with. Red, we need to see more red because we haven't really seen much, personally, in my opinion. Dukemon's nice. It will provide a hard matchup for purple, but I feel like Bandai's been mostly focusing on sort of the black and purple stuff, maybe a bit of yellow, because all the other colours we haven't seen much of, except for blue, of course.
Right. The new cards definitely change up the gameplay style a little bit, going from tamers sort of being something you only wanted one out before, now you want as many as possible out.
Definitely, like the more tamers will be better, especially for obviously the yellow deck, which is going to this is going to really need tamers to push out strong attacks and pat effects. Black with a couple of ties on is going to be very hard to deal with blockers because they're just going to be able to block nearly most stuff in the game, essentially. Especially if they can get that War Greymon out, will be quite hard to deal with. The green and blue tamers we got are extremely powerful, and they're definitely going to make their decks. Having reduced evolution costs and just searching for theme Digimon is really powerful, especially for tamers. I'm surprised we've gotten tamers this strong so quickly.
Right. That does seem to oddly be the focus of this set, but speaking of decks and whatnot, what deck interests you most right now?
It's definitely the green deck with Rusty Tyrannomon. I mean, that's definitely the main deck I'm going to be guilding going to set 2 because I love the green deck and I'm just so happy. Like, one of my favourite sort of Digimon lines, which is the Tyrannomon line, has made it into green instead of red. So I'm definitely just going to be building that upon release. I'm definitely curious about the black deck using Diaboromon. I reckon that won't be as good, but I reckon it'll be quite memey and funny to play, especially if it goes off and you get a bunch of tokens on board.
Right, it would be pretty interesting if we see more of Diaboromon's line, and he has a method of perhaps passing blocker to his tokens.
Yeah, that'll be quite interesting to see. There might be an option card that gives us a token, and I imagine Champion and Ultimate stage will have some scummy effect if you have a Digimon with the same card name on the field as this.
Um, so, since we're sort of on the topic of predictions, we have yet to see the secret rares from the set so far. What do you think Black War Greymon and Beelzemon's abilities will revolve around?
I reckon Black War Greymon, he will definitely have I think he'll boost your blockers, or maybe give you ability to reboot non-reboot Digimon. I definitely see him having some, maybe potentially a security attack buff as well. So like, this Digimon gets blocker and he has security attack +1 or something. Beelzemon, I reckon he will have an effect that will either mill or reanimate stuff on attack. making him a key part for purple decks.
Right. It definitely makes sense between Beelzemon being an advanced stage of Entmon and from everything we've seen in purple so far.
Yeah.
With your interest in Rust Tyrannomon, what do you think of the other cards Green has seen in the set so far?
I'm definitely interested. Like, what's it, Argomon? I can't quite remember how to pronounce his name. His download keywords quite interesting. I feel like there will be a version of Green Sign just to sort of flood the board and then rest Digimon just to bring out these sort of high powered Digimon for relatively no cost. It's definitely something I'm interested in, but not as much as Rust Tyrannomon right now because that card is just insane for Green.
Right. He takes I suppose, the key victory condition for Green and just steps it up as he's allowed
Yeah.
to. Yep. Um, a universal question. So, if you had your ideal deck in this game with your favorite Digimon, color, and playstyle, what would it be?
It'll definitely be a deck based around Doraemon to the Alphamon line. I'm not sure what colour it would be. I could potentially see it being yellow. Um, Instead of relying heavily on tamers, I reckon it'll be sort of a yellow deck that tries to be a bit more aggressive in its attacks. So an Alphamon sort of ability lets them sort of multi-attack essentially. But definitely Doraemon and Alphamon, they're my number one favourite Digimon.
Right. But your personal favorite playstyle in card games?
It's definitely milling and bringing stuff back from the graveyard.
So, self milling.
Yeah, I like to self-mill and just bring everything back.
That, it'll definitely be interesting to see where purple takes that.
Yeah, it will be.
In regards to purple, what do you think of their vengeance ability?
I like it. I think it's interesting. Death Touch is just sort of really good in any game, really. Um, I definitely see them not making a blocker with Vengeance because that would be too ridiculous to have, to be honest. But I would love to see something like that in the game.
Right. I think that there's a lot of interesting interactions we're seeing between colors right now that isn't being explored because Bandai is currently intentionally making it hard to do.
Yeah. Um, I do feel like multicolour decks will pick up in the future. We've already seen with the white cards, they can evolve from multiple colour sources, which tells me that down the line we might have sort of either multicolored cards or lower level white cards that can digivolve from either two colors, but then are also counted as the color they digivolve from, allowing you to go even up further the Digivolution line.
Right, that actually it's actually a decent prediction on something that a lot of people are most definitely interested in right now with DNA Digivolution and looking forward to how that works.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be interesting to see when it comes in the game. Like Pale Dramon will probably be something like blue or green, but that would be sort of a very interesting color combination to see, with blue wanting to constantly switch itself to active mode and mill your opponent's Digivolution sources, and green just wanting to rest everything.
Right, there's Digimon certainly has a lot of places to draw inspiration from for their card game.
Definitely, like we've already seen sort of the Volcano Dramon line, I think it is. Like that's something I've only heard of over the last couple of months, and I'm loving the fact it's already in this game. We've got so many anime seasons to choose from, so much manga. We've already sort of seen with the Vidramon stuff. We even got the games, which I've already seen some support for. So I'm definitely looking forward to potentially a HudieMon card in the near future. It's just so many Digimon they can draw inspiration from, but a lot of them I feel like it's too early to appear right now. So I do feel like they wanted to run partially along with the anime mostly, but throw in some other stuff as well to help fill out the set.
Right, it does certainly. It certainly feels like, in some regards, they're rushing, but I suppose in other regards, people are already getting a little tired of the Adventure Reboot anime appearing in the sets. I'm not sure if it's necessarily fair to criticize that just yet.
I feel like with the Adventure reboot, we have to learn to accept like our sort of Digimon adventure has ended with their last movie, and this new one sort of is mostly aimed to a younger audience to get them into the series with the same characters we fell in love with. I like the adventure reboot. To be honest, I know some people don't, but they have to understand this is not their anime anymore. It's now the new generations as well, and they have to start somewhere. And why not where we all fell in love with the series from?
Right, without a doubt, we certainly are starting to sound like the older audience that always criticizes the younger generation's tastes and whatnot.
Definitely, but the new Digivolution animations are just spot on in the adventure reboot. I love them so much.
I am glad to see the. It seems like the budget's definitely increased for the new season.
Definitely, they are definitely going out with this, wanting to make sure it appeals to the most people as they possibly can.
Um, so, uh, what direction do you think they're going to take extra boosters in?
To see how extra boosters could work with Digimon. I feel like we could get definitely some extra boosters as theme sets, not containing all the colours but only select colours, and have main sets with a set colour dedication. But I'm not sure really with extra boosters right now for Digimon. It seems a bit of a not a good idea while still essentially establishing the game.
Right, I forgot exactly how many sets it is before we're supposed to see an extra booster, or that image might have been proven false already. Hard to say. Do you remember which one? Do you remember which one I'm referring to?
I can't think of which image you're referring to right now. But for me, I don't think we should see an extra booster for at least a year or at least 5 sets in to sort of establish some groundwork for the game.
Right, that definitely makes sense. It would definitely be a little odd to start having something entirely new introduced and pushed by one full half set before we have everything else established.
Definitely.
But
Like
go on.
if they want to do sort of new starter decks that follow sort of a particular theme, I'm all for. But an extra booster sets that follow a theme is just too soon. Starter decks will be fine, so it still sort of fits in place with the card game right now.
Right. But speaking of themes and whatnot, looking over the mechanics, which part of the game, which mechanic do you want to see expanded on the most right now?
I'm not particularly sure. Um, mechanic wise, I sort of like everything, and I think it's all well done. I do feel like some option cards and tamers do need some work. Like, I know a lot of the tamers have continuous skills or effects that come in on play, but if we could have some more tamers that work with Digimon, like how Blue and their tamers are interacting, it would definitely be nice to help spread some more variety for the game. If we had that more tamer and Digimon interaction like they do in the show.
Right. It definitely would help add some uh thematic style to the game, I suppose. All right. So is there anything you'd like to say to the Digimon community?
Just keep being respectful, guys. I know some of us are getting annoyed with all the Wargreymon cards, but we just have to accept the fact Wargreymon's a staple Digimon and we'll still be seeing a lot of him. I definitely do like the fact you all out there are supporting everyone who's making content and just being genuinely nice to each other. And I hope we continue being this community that just loves and respects each other and not go down sort of a more saltier path like others have.
Very well said. All right. Until next time, guys, stay wholesome.